We'll jump in now to our best bets of the week, and I'll get it started with Florida State laying 35.5 against UMass. And generally speaking, we've kind of teed it up in this way in previous episodes. When you go through that first month as a G5 team, usually you're getting beat up and the public can be too low on some of those teams. I think that in a similar way, the public had totally sold on Florida State. They nearly beat Notre Dame in the opener and then just can't get it together the rest of the month. They lose to Jacksonville State. They start 0-4, but they've won their last two, and they've scored 68 points across those two games against decent teams in Syracuse and North Carolina, certainly teams that, they were not predicted to beat outright. So the fact that they're drawing a UMass team that gives up 6 yards per carry on the ground, which is one of the worst figures nationally, and the fact that UMass has not been able to stop any of the big plays. And Florida State, that's been kind of an issue for them, where it is difficult with a new staff, with a new quarterback. They've rotated at times this year to put together those 8, 10, 12 play drives. You want to be able to get that cheat code and go ahead and hit that 75-yard play. UMass is absolutely in a position to offer that to you. In terms of giving up plays of 20 yards or more, they're 122nd in the nation. When you go up to 30 yards or more, they're 118th. So I think Florida State's going to hit some big hitters in this one. And then the other element of it, whenever you talk about trying to cover a number north of 5 touchdowns, you're probably factoring in backups. And Milton off the bench, I don't think they're going to just give him a vanilla playbook. He's worked too hard, and he'll be in the running for National Comeback Player of the Year. He's just a great story. So I think they'll let him run the offense as he wants to and get some more points on the board. So 35.5 is not scaring me off of fading the Minutemen here. What are your thoughts on the Florida State game?
Yeah, I think, a lot of times it's easy to factor in, as you said, as teams improve throughout the year, it's easy to look at it and point, injuries are so hard to come by a lot of times in college. It's hard to keep track of. And it's easy to say, they're starting quarterback or, big time receiver, running back. But with Florida State, honestly, it's been their offensive line. And luckily, I listen to someone like Bud Elliott, who's very tuned into the Florida State program. And he's pointed this out a lot, where the beginning of the year, they were missing like 3 of their offensive line starters. And that made a huge difference for them. They got it back 2 weeks ago. And like you mentioned, you've seen that totally change their dynamic. I don't know that, the public necessarily is aware of that, to getting the offensive linemen back. And I also think this is one of those games where Florida State is a down team and they have struggled in the last couple of years. And when they have these opportunities to flex their muscles, they're going to take advantage, especially when you look at, the recruiting side of it, where, Miami's having a bad year. Florida just lost another bad game to LSU. Basically every team in Florida, I know Brett McGriffey talked about this on sources. Every team in Florida stinks. So if you have a chance for this Florida State team to flex its muscles, I think they're going to. So I like that play a lot, actually.
All right. How about your play best bet of week 8?
You mentioned the MAC. I'm going to the MAC. I'm taking Central Michigan -5 against Northern Illinois. First, I want to just apologize.
Hold on. Is this another anti-Rocky Lombardi, rant? Because I'll just go get a glass of water because I know where this is going.
Yep. First, hand up. I'm going to be the bigger man. I was wrong. Northern Illinois is way better than I thought they were going to be. They're 5-2, already hit their win total over, which I bet the under on. That lost. I was wrong. They are a lot better. But the areas that they are a lot better is defensively and running the ball. Rocky Lombardi still stinks. He's thrown 6 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. He's averaging just 139 yards per game. Now, he is running the ball a lot more, which I didn't really expect out of him. And between Lombardi and Whaley, they have been really good on the ground. That's what they want to do. They want to run the ball. Obviously, their head coach is former Northern Illinois running back, former Baltimore Ravens running backs coach. That's what they want to do. This is the tough matchup. Central Michigan is 22nd in the country at defending the run. They are 6th in the country in stuff rate. And the Central Michigan offense, similar to what we talked about with, different quarterback moves, have made a quarterback change halfway through the year. They started it with Jacob Sermon, the Washington transfer. He did not really kind of pan out. They went back to Daniel Richardson, who was their starter for most of last year. And the offense has looked better under Richardson. They have 2 incredible wide receivers, Kalen Pimbleton and Jacory Sullivan. Sullivan is questionable, so that, maybe keep an eye on that. But at the end of the day, since Sermon came in, they've been much better. Or Richardson, came in, has been much better. He's thrown 11 touchdowns, just 2 picks. He's averaging 8.1 yards per attempt between, like I said, Pimbleton, Sullivan, Dallas Dixon. They have three good receivers averaging 13 yards per game. And they have the running attack with Lou Nichols, who leads the MAC in rushing. So I think the Central Michigan offense is going to be too much for Northern Illinois. And for a team that wants to run the ball, the strength of Central Michigan is defending the run. So like I said, hand up, Northern Illinois is a lot better than I thought they were going to be, but I still think this is a bad matchup for them. So I'll take Central Michigan -5 at home.
I think this is the first time we played the chips here on the podcast. So I'm glad that we got to them.
-4 at home.
There's a lot to like about them, as you just listed. And I do think there's a bit of a market inefficiency when you get into, Conference USA play, MAC play, some of these conferences that aren't getting the eyeballs that the major power programs are. There's some stale numbers being hung up there. And I'm with you. I think that's going to be one I'm going to immediately add to my card.